We are live with another episode of BS Busters. Um, we're this is the overall topic of this BS Busters is overrated versus underrated. Before we get to the main topic, we have some other stuff to get to. But before we get to that, the panel will introduce themselves. We have another person who will be popping in and out. He'll be here later on, but before we get started with that, let's have the others introduce themselves. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll start.
All right.
So, it's me, Wonder Dean. I am here in my last cast before I head back up to school this Sunday. Tomorrow, in fact. So I figured I come here one last time and try my best.
Oh, that's all anyone can ask for. You try your best. Who else wants to go?
Hey people, this is Brownie, your Nintendo Maverick. Good evening.
All right. Some other people might pop in, but before we get there, I guess it's up to me to introduce myself. It's me, Mr. Red Fox, the man who don't take no bullshit, and as a matter of fact, has an entire channel built to busting it. So, that being said, let's get into some of the news that's been going on this week. Not a lot's been happening. We've had a lot of stuff of more of a set it nature, video game news wise. I guess one of the bigger things that we've heard about is got some PlayStation news. PlayStation recently shuttered one of their West Coast studios. Shuttered. Well, they didn't shutter it entirely. They have a team making some type of what's the word I'm looking for? They're making some type of title. I'm not exactly sure. Um, some type of game, but they've only kept enough people to make that one game. Like the rest of it's just like ridiculously is just falling apart. So your guys' thoughts on that? Like the fact that like the PlayStation is oh so successful, but they're shuttering studios, which is not the mark of a
Oh,
Oh my god, okay.
oh my.
So,
I guess I just will keep going from here. The main thing to take away from that is that, of course, studios are closing down. Games don't sell on the PlayStation,
mm-hmm.
or at least the games that should sell don't sell.
Yeah, and I saw a video on Red Knights about how PS4 is so successful, and now they're doing this PS4 Pro, and the Sony fans are saying, well, you shouldn't update or you shouldn't upgrade to a PS4 Pro. Well, Sony is
I don't.
concentrating on selling more hardware than software.
yeah.
So it might look like they're winning or they're making money, but it's a facade.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't.
I was about to say.
I don't understand the point of the PS Pro. Like a console like that should be a cheaper option, a cheaper, more accessible option. That's why the Wii kept consistently doing well, and I noticed that it was around the same price as what's the point of the PS Pro?
hmm And the fact that the Wii is still selling to this day
It is.
because of the
Yeah.
software.
Yeah, but the money. Here's what people need to understand when, like, a lot of people are looking at the sales of the PS4 and they're like, well, it's all about that hardware. It's all about that hardware. But the real money in making uh, in making a console isn't in the actual hardware. It's the software. So if Sony is like game developers and downsizing studios, there's something wrong. I personally think there's something going on at the PlayStation division that Sony doesn't want people to know about.
hmm It's like Sony is trying to save a bunch of things and being in him being alone, not depending on anything else. Like Sony has the music part, the movie part, the do they still sell phones
No,
or
no,
no?
no.
They still
They
sell
have the
TVs
place.
and other hardware, right?
Like, here's the thing: Sony's various parts of Sony's divisions aren't doing well. The movie business is going to lose money this year, in this fiscal year. It's either going to lose money or like make a very very small profit. Their music division is going to turn a profit, but their hardware division is going to lose money. Their TVs are going to lose money. Their cameras are going to lose money. Like multiple parts of their business is not going to be as profitable as it should be. So
Yeah, when people talk about Sony, when you bring up that their consoles aren't really that profitable, people always bring up how, well, Sony, it's a big company, they got a lot of resources, they got a lot of other divisions to fall back on, but that isn't exactly true. A lot of those other divisions are also losing money.
exactly, and that's what people need to understand is that like Sony has like 11, 12 divisions, but like 4 of them are profitable. The other another 4 are barely breaking even, and the other 4 are like losing, hemorrhaging massive amounts of money. Like Sony's basically, it's like death of 1,000 cuts. Like years ago, when Sony would have 1 or 2 divisions that didn't do well, it wouldn't matter because they'd have like 8, 9 other divisions that were turning a big enough profit that it didn't matter. But it's not like that for Sony.
And like I mentioned before, it's like they don't want to sacrifice one thing to keep afloat. They want the whole thing. They sacrifice one
They
thing.
sacrificed the Vita pretty quickly.
And they sold several buildings. So I mean, it's not like they didn't sacrifice anything.
Well, I'm not talking about buildings. I'm talking about
Divisions. Well, they got rid of the computer division, the VIO.
And they're still losing? Oh wow.
Well, I mean, whenever you get rid of division, you're going to lose a lot of money because whatever money you put into building up that division and operating it and maintaining it is gone. So the billions of dollars Sony spent trying to keep it running is no more.
And you said the music department will profit something this year.
I think the music division and maybe their life insurance division are the only things that I know are going to be a sure profit.
They offer life insurance?
Yeah. Sony is weird, man.
Wow.
I don't know if you know this. Sony is fucking weird.
I thought they were an electronics company.
They are, but they also have a life insurance division. Look, man, it's weird, okay?
I mean, Nintendo did want to start that. What was it? Health.
The quality
Their
of
little
life.
health brand.
They already have that.
Although
they have that in Japan. So
yeah, Nintendo isn't as defined as people think it is.
It's called diversifying, and companies do it. It's like Coca-Cola is known for pop, right? Like Coca-Cola, but Coca-Cola also owns liquor companies, right? They also own Honest Tea. I mean, they own a lot of other shit besides just what they're known for, which is Coca-Cola. So, I mean, it's weird all around. Is what I'm saying.
Man. And at that PlayStation meeting, I was expecting nothing. But what they showed, and nothing new.
Was less than nothing. No, I'm joking.
Well,
I wasn't really paying attention to TGS or whatever it was.
No, it's before TGS. The whole when they announced the PS4 Slim, the PS4 Pro, the 4K promises. I was expecting nothing, and still was disappointed.
Well, they never said 4K. They said it was HDR with the PS Slim. The PS4 Slim, it's HDR. With the PS4 Pro, they're saying, well, Like the PS4 Pro can't even do 4K Blu-ray, which I'm like, what the fuck, you know?
Wait, it, what? I don't even know what HDR is. I mean,
HDR is basically supposed to be like an upscaling of content. So like if you put in a Blu-ray, because most Blu-rays now are 1080p, it'll upscale it to your TV to whatever your TV is. But that's still not 4K or 2K. It just means it's gonna make it look crisper to your television. But
Yeah,
it's not as good as native.
This whole definition race, I guess we could call it, seems like one of those things that's only really important to a very small niche.
Well, I mean, if you're one of those people who likes having shit that does what it actually says it's supposed to do, and yeah, it's a problem. If you don't care, you just want to play games, it's also a problem because basically none of this shit is actually going to do what it says it's going to do, you know?
Mm. And they're expecting to sell 1/3.
1/3 of what?
I think either PS4 the shipment they're gonna do or the TVs, something like that. I have to go back to that. It's on when they ask questions about the PS4. I think it's Mark something. I don't see it. I don't see it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sony does a Sega and go third party. And people say Nintendo needs to go third party. They're not in what's the word?
Sony's not gonna go. Sony's not gonna go third party. They're just gonna sell a few of their franchises and get out of the race entirely.
Yeah, with the PlayStation Now, they have that. They might. Yeah. It's a bit sad, not so much. But yeah, the whole them not being able to keep a team, they're drowning. They're really drowning.
Yeah, there's something going on because it's getting ridiculous how basically shit is just like disappearing. Like because like I said, if like okay, if Nintendo during the Wii's run, okay, the Wii when the Wii was like selling, you know, like gangbusters, right? And they started shuttering studios, wouldn't that be odd?
Be alarming.
A little bit.
Because you've got money, right? You've got money. Like you're selling a lot of hardware, which means you have a platform to sell a lot of software. So shouldn't you be selling? Like, shouldn't you be making more money with, you know? You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense if it was doing that well. Which is why, and this is just me, I don't think it's making as much money as people think. I don't think the PlayStation division is making as much money as people think. And I think at this point, they're just kind of like, I think they're hiding shit so they don't have to tell people how badly they're actually doing.
Microsoft?
No, Sony.
No, I mean like Microsoft is doing with their unify their profits and to make it seem like they're not in trouble or they're not selling their hardware. Wow, okay, so the PS4 is still the 40 million, but and it's still they're having trouble.
Yeah, because no games that they exclusively own anyway are actually selling on that thing.
That console came out too soon. Too soon.
It didn't come out too soon. It just well, Sony kind of lost all the exclusivity they had last generation. Because now everything was on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. And now that's just to carry over into this generation.
Well, I mean, they're practically no exclusive. Like, basically, I think of the two HD twins, I would say that the Xbox One has slightly stronger exclusives, but both of them are actually not that good. Like, Gears of War, no one gives a shit about. I don't think, like, Gears of War has never been a franchise that people are like, oh my god. I
Did it
went
ever
out.
sell that well?
It did okay. Like, it's not like it's not. Let me put it this way: it's not like, I don't think it ever made as much money as people would have you believe. I don't think Gears of War was ever like the big juggernaut for the Xbox in terms of software is gonna be Halo and Call of Duty and, like, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean, I'm not saying other stuff doesn't sell, but that's like really those are the big dogs in that household. So yeah.
Speaking exclusivity, do you think that Spider-Man game will go to PC like they did with the Street Fighter V
It depends.
thing that was exclusive console-wise on PS4, but goes
Let me
to
put it
PC?
this way. Yeah, it'll probably hit PC before it hits an Xbox One, if ever. But then again, we've seen games that were on the Xbox One eventually come to, eventually come to the PS3. Like, I'm pretty sure at some point that Tomb Raider game is probably going to hit the PS4, just because, like, Square Enix didn't make enough money with the shit. So
Damn.
yeah.
But yeah, Sony's fine though.
Yeah, they're totally fine.
They'll be fine. They're only doing things that Sega did similarly
They're-
before they got out of the race.
They're firing the fuck out of people, but they'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. They're on fire, but they'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
All right. Is there any other news
Um,
that you wanted to talk about?
anything you guys want to bring up? Because then we can move on to the next topic.
I don't really follow news that often. I just kind of see word of mouth, and then I get here and hear more news.
Okay. All right. So the next topic is that Koji Igarashi game, that Kickstarter game that was kickstarted. Plus, they're doing some shit with a publisher. Has been pushed back to next year, or no, the year after next, so 2018. It was supposed to come out 2017, so next year, but it's been pushed out to 2018. Your guys' thoughts?
Delays are the cool new thing. I mean, first it was the joke that Nintendo always delayed everything. Everything seems to be getting delayed more and more often.
Yeah, but I don't think that game was going to be like. I'm going to keep it real. I think a lot of games have, like, especially Kickstarter games have unrealistic due dates.
Yeah, I can see.
Like, they're like, well, we'll have this out next year. No, you won't. No, you, like, how many projects have you done in this format? None? Okay, then yeah, you're not gonna have this shit out next year. I can tell you, even the successful Kickstarter games had small delays. Shovel Knight had a small delay.
Yeah, that's right.
Shadowrun had a small delay. These are successful Kickstarters.
What was Ukulele delayed at some point?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out this fall, but it's coming at first quarter of next year.
So
Okay,
like
that'll
March,
probably-
like February,
that'll probably-
March, April.
That'll probably be delayed again, actually.
Yeah.
What?
Well, it may or may not be delayed, but I mean, here's the thing: I'm not mad about the delay. I'm just simply saying that it's like it's unrealistic to expect these games to come out day one. This is to not have a delay. And to tell you the truth, some of these games that come out, like Mighty Number 9 was delayed to hell, and I was like, you guys should have delayed this another 3 or 4 months. Although by that point they had basically lost credibility. So,
Yeah.
and from playing that game, there was some shit missing from that game.
People are just apprehensive about the delays for Blood Rain, I think it's called. I don't remember.
Bloodstain.
Yeah,
Bloodstain. Thank you. It is specifically because of Mighty Number 9, how that was delayed so much. But those are different examples because we already kind of have a proof of concept from them about Bloodstained. Like they've given us footage and demos and such. So I think the delay is more warranted than something like Mighty Number 9.
Okay.
And Inafune is not the same
Igarashi.
as Igarashi.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean,
I don't
Inafune isn't a game developer. Igarashi is a designer, so he's the guy who comes up with the concept. Inafune is, but Igarashi's actually a developer. So, I mean, a developer is more interested in what they can do versus what they can't do. So, but like I said, Igarashi, I mean, the dude had been making cell phone games before that. So, like, is he out of practice? Does he know what the fuck he's doing? I don't know.
Didn't he want to make a Castlevania game for a while, but Konami wouldn't let him?
Well, yeah, he'd do a demo, and that piece of shit Kojima would come in because at the time he was like vice president of Konami. He would go in and he'd fucking he shit on their he shut it down.
Pachinko Konami.
No, that wasn't Konami proper. That was because the dude who was in charge of funding projects at the time was that piece of shit Kojima. Isn't it amazing how his projects would get funding, but Koji Igarashi's shit that was way more affordable and never went over budget would get shuttered, but Kojima's shit would get funded. Yeah, that's a coincidence, isn't it?
Indeed. His new game is and Kojima's new game looks as shallow as ever.
Well, it's another
At least
pretentious ass overrated game.
Death Stranding or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I didn't understand the hype for that because, like, when it comes to me and trailers, if it doesn't have any gameplay whatsoever, you didn't show me anything. When it comes to video game trailers, like, you may have well just showed me like the logo and some sort of static image. So if you show like that movie and no gameplay, then you didn't show me anything. So I don't understand the hype behind this game because he didn't actually show anything about the game.
Well, not just that. No, sorry. Go ahead.
It's because it's Kojima.
Yeah, that's also why I don't understand the hype behind this game.
Yeah, because for me, Hideo Kojima is one of the most overrated developers in the industry. Like, and I mean, not developer. Yeah, developers. His games that get the biggest amount of praise aren't that good, and his games that no one talks about are the ones that really people should be playing, like Police Knots and Snatcher and Boktai, and like people should be playing those games, but they don't. They all have a hard-on for his shitty Metal Gear games, which, I mean, look, I'm not saying they're terrible, but they aren't as good as what people think they are. The control scheme sucks, and like the stealth system is, like, in my opinion, a little overrated, but whatever.
Yeah, but we'll see.
It became less of a stealth series over time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's more like a shitty movie that you have to control.
No. It's a zombie game now. Metal Gear Survive.
That's not Kojima though.
I know, but yeah. That Kojima game.
Kojima. So, anyone have any other topics on the brand before we get to the main one?
Oh yeah, Nintendo sent. I thought it was really funny going back to that another Metroid 2 remake. Nintendo sent out a tweet that they're hiring, like, what was it, intellectual property protection kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And everyone was like freaking out, and like I thought about it, and I was like, maybe this is because they have like a presence on the iOS App Store now,
Could
like
be.
an actual official presence. Like they're gonna try and target down all those knockoff games that have been existing for like 5 years.
Well,
So Nintendo is hiring people. They do that a lot on Twitter. I see that often.
I forget what it, but well, there was kind of a negative reaction to it, and I just thought it was funny.
That's weird.
All I'm gonna say is this, okay? You create something, okay? You make it fucking good, and then have someone take your shit and make money with it, and then tell me how you feel about it. I mean, I would be very interested to see if you would let someone just take your shit and make money off of it.
Well, the thing that was about another Metroid 2 remake is that the creator wasn't making any money off of it.
No. Like, here's the thing. With that wasn't him. The sites that were using it they weren't charging for it, but they were using it indirectly to make money, and so that's why they were hit with the DMCA.
With like ads and stuff.
Well, like
wow.
for ad traffic, like you put something on your website to get traffic, and it's someone else's IP. That's you're still making money off of someone else's shit, right?
Mhm.
Indirectly, yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, they were still. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to remember he was using a lot of their art and assets to make that. He was using a lot of Nintendo's art and assets to make that game. So, I mean, he still was using someone else's shit. I mean,
Well, like the name. Yeah. He probably would have ran into less things if he didn't use a trademark name.
No, I downloaded the demo for that game. It uses a lot of Metroid art assets from like Metroid,
Indeed.
Zero Mission, and shit like that. I mean, it's like, I mean, look, listen, I like the game. I'm just simply saying that you can't use someone else's shit to make money. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
This kind of reaffirms what I said earlier. It's all fun in games until Nintendo acts like a company.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you? How dare you? I mean, what are you supposed to do? Just let someone just use your just take your shit? I mean, there isn't a business on this planet that would just let you just use their shit like that.
And these people will never understand until they make their own stuff, they build a company on it, and they have this situation.
I mean, businesses don't work like that. Like, you can't take someone else's shit and use it to make money. I'm sorry. I mean, I know that's hard for some people to understand, but you can't do it. It's illegal. It's called theft because you're using someone else's shit to make money.
Basically, yeah. Actually, I like that quote. Yeah, it's all fun and games until Nintendo acts like a company. I like that.
How dare you? How dare they? How dare they actually call someone out for using their shit? Those bastards. I should be allowed to use their shit to make money, even though I didn't, like, my name isn't Shigeru Miyamoto or Gunpei Yokoi or Sakamoto or Tezuka Takashi. Not Tezuka Takashi. I forgot the dude's name. But you get what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I got you. So, anything else?
now unless you guys want to bring something up, and then we'll keep it. Oh, I got a good one. Japan recently had their TGS, and which, I mean, the Tokyo Game Show is basically their version of E3, except it's also kind of like GDC combined. They were talking about like who were the top, like the top games in Japan and everything. And holy of holies, Nintendo just basically took over everything because that's what Nintendo do.
Shocker. With what game?
With everything. I mean, like Splatoon was nominated.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they do what they always do. They take over everything because that's what Nintendo does. They're
Kick
squirrely.
ass. They kick ass and take names.
Like basically, it was like 20 games were nominated, and like 100 games were on the list, and like 87 of them were Nintendo titles or multiplats that were also on Nintendo consoles or handheld. I mean, it was
Okay. I know what you're saying. It's this awards thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on Google Plus.
It was
Wow.
like yeah, damn shit.
Hold on, I want to see this list. Where is it?
You can look it
Let's
up.
see
The
if-
TGS like top Nintendo things or whatever. It was ridiculous. I was like, damn, goddamn Nintendo. But I mean, it's not surprising. People don't seem to understand this. Nintendo owns Japan.
This was only reaffirmed when they were able to get Monster Hunter on their systems.
Well, I mean, that was because Sony got the big head. They got arrogant when it was on the PSP. They're like, we don't need to do shit. Fuck you. They fucked up because I mean that should be Sony's big thing. We fuck up. Like Sony is one of those companies that they get shit going and then they start fucking up because that's what they do.
Actually, related to TGS, it was funny because I saw some people getting salty that Nintendo didn't like reveal the NX around that time.
Why should they?
I don't know.
Like, people are like, why did Nintendo talk
They're
about
getting
it?
antsy because they're getting antsy that Nintendo hasn't like talked about it at all.
Why should they talk about it? Like, what reason does Nintendo have to talk about the NX at this point? Like they said,
Because
it doesn't
Nintendo's
cost them
failing in the hardware race, didn't you know?
well, I mean that may be true to some people, but they're making more money. They're making more money off of their hardware than Sony or Microsoft are making on theirs.
Yeah.
They're selling the least, making the most money off their shit. So I don't know, man. I mean, they can't be doing that badly if they're making money off the shit.
Oh man, I could imagine these people are like those crackheads that haven't had one in a while, and they're getting super anxious. It's like they don't take baths, they don't drink, they don't eat. It's like, damn, man.
Hey, man, you heard about that NX, baby? No. Come on, baby, tell me about that NX, baby. There's nothing I can really tell you. Come on, baby. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, man, give me that NX news, baby.
People get weird when it comes to NX because like Nintendo will like claim a patent for like some random thing, then everyone just like pounces on it. It's like NX.
Like, where's your evidence?
This is what the NX will be. Like people always say, well, why would they patent it anyway? They're a company. There's a number of reasons they could patent that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, part of it is because if they decide to use it in the future, they don't want someone like hopping on it saying, "Oh, you owe us money for this." It's like, no, I don't, motherfucker. Kiss my ass. Like, it's like people. A lot of the people who talk about it don't really know what the fuck they're talking about, which is amazing to me because listening to them, it's like, dude, you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Why don't you shut the fuck up?
They're crazy, and they care more about hardware than software. That is sad. They care more about the restaurant's appearance than the food. Yikes.
Yeah. Although to tell you the truth, sometimes you need to pay attention to appearance because if you go to a
Well,
restaurant
yeah.
and you go into the bathroom,
Obviously,
you see an employee go in there and go,
obviously you don't want to be in a dirty
yeah,
restaurant. Because,
he does something, doesn't wash his hands. I get kind of worried. Like I've had that happen to me. I've gone to restaurants where I'm in the bathroom, dude comes in, he's an employee and does not wash his hands. I'm like, well, I'm never eating here again. As a matter of fact, I'm not eating here now. I'm getting the fuck out while I can. Yeah, I'm shallow
true.
like that, y'all. Yeah. Oh, that's not a shallow thing. That's just no one wants to eat in a nasty ass bathroom.
Yeah, but the Nintendo consoles, the last powerful one was the GameCube, right? Or before the Wii U?
Well, the N64 was powerful. The SNES was on par with its competitors at the time. I mean, it's not like Nintendo doesn't make powerful consoles. It's just like Nintendo realizes that the most important part of a console is the games, which is something a lot of people have forgotten. That games are important.
You can have the best kitchen set, but if you don't know how to cook, it's useless.
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised. It might drop in a few months, but next year, I don't care. I have a big backlog. I can't wait.
I think they're going to still kind of support the Wii U just in terms of the online services and shit like that for a little bit longer. Just for,
Of course, yeah.
But what
So
do I
what
know?
else? Yeah. So what
I
else?
guess we got to talk about the elephant in the room, which is of course the P what about the
No,
people
no.
what about all these
Change.
little rumors that they're going to release they're going to talk about the NX next week, which is what they say. I don't believe
And there are rumors like that every week.
Yeah, but I mean, this shit's getting ridiculous. I'm getting tired of hearing about it, to tell you the truth. I'm getting really fucking tired.
We probably won't know anything about the NX until after they release Pokemon Sun and Moon anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big game for them.
Yeah.
And if they show the NX now, it will take away that attention.
You're right. But once again, you're making sense. We're not allowed to make sense in this world.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
You're making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we basically just went over a lot of we were trying to make some sense about some of the shit that's been going on in the industry. We talked about Sony shuttering studios, but they have a quote unquote successful console, so why are they shuttering studios? That seems a bit counterintuitive.
I mean, I think you pretty much advise one other day that like if they really want to be in a good position, they kind of have to fire some people, and that's pretty much yeah.
Yeah, I did, but I also said that the money in making a console is in the first party software, right?
Yeah.
So if Sony has the biggest install base, right, for hardware, so wouldn't it make sense for you to have studios making hardware so that you could capitalize on your large install base and make money?
It should.
Yeah, it should.
I mean, I know they're going to have to fire people, obviously, because they can't afford to support all the other shit they're trying to do. But, I mean, they have a movie division that's, like, had multiple bombs. Like, Like they've had multiple movies in their movie division bomb spectacularly. Like Ghostbusters lost a lot of money for them. I won't get into the other shit that has also bombed. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I know something's gonna have to change, but you know, how much is gonna change? What's gonna change? You know, I don't know.
And then you saw the Pokemon generations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw.
I saw the first two.
There's some good shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice seeing a different take on like all the Pokemon stuff we've seen in the past, like the goddamn Pokemon SWAT team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it pisses me off because I was looking at it. I was like, man, why couldn't we get this shit as an anime instead of shit we got as kids with Ash Ketchum, who's a shitty
Well, you're
Pokemon
getting it
trainer.
now. You're getting it now.
Yeah, but I
Mhm.
could have enjoyed it more when I was a little kid.
Apparently, he was about to win. Yeah, I'll finish. Apparently, he was about to like win the Callus League, but like he didn't.
Oh yeah.
And it pretty much it didn't really make any sense for the company to really just make him like lose like that, you know, because like after like the following episodes after it kind of like he kind of had to win in order for like the villain's motivation to actually make sense. And so
Man, it's Pokemon. It doesn't have to make sense. It's
Ash is a commercial character.
yeah, like in order for Ash Ketchum to work, he has to always fucking be a loser. Which is sad, but what are you gonna do? You know.
don't know if they could afford to do that though, because those dislikes on I don't know if you guys watch Pokemon, but like the latest episode, oh man.
They don't mean anything.
No, I mean like
Trust
on TV
me.
Tokyo itself. I mean they
They
really
don't mean
Wow.
any. Trust me, they don't mean anything. Because the anime series in general has been, you'd think it'd be better received. You think it'd be more popular in general, but it actually has been doing worse in terms of views than the previous series. Best wishes.
Yeah.
Which anime?
So the Pokemon XY
XY.
anime.
Oh, well, I mean, at a certain point, like, I think it's kind of starting to lose its steam, and they might have to change directions. So, if
Well-
you're listening to this,
They are changing direction.
Yeah.
this is what you guys need to do. Generations, the same studio you got to make, the Origins with Red and all that shit. Make a series about that Red going out doing the shit that Ash does, but actually being a fucking good trainer and not a piece of shit like Ash Ketchum.
Nah, he is a good trainer.
Yeah, he is a
No,
good trainer.
he's
I
a
mean,
terrible trainer.
Nah, he's not.
no, I mean like that Astro Ninja man. Oh,
Yeah, he's
Well, I
fucking
wouldn't-
recreating Naruto up in there.
No, I
That's
mean,
okay, yeah.
the reason I say he's a terrible trainer is because this is the guy who the first time he tried to catch a Pokemon, like he tried to beat it with a stick.
oh yeah.
I mean, like, really? You want to be the very best? Sorry. I don't like Ash Ketchum.
Did you saw the new art direction they're going for the
Oh,
new
Yeah.
series?
Man,
Yeah, it
I
looks
stopped watching
swishier.
Pokemon years ago. Sorry. I was like, at a certain point, I was just like, I'm done. Like he got rid of his best Pokemon, which was his Charizard, because he couldn't fucking control it because it had no respect for him, because even it knew he was a shitty trainer. It was like, you know what? I'm done with this franchise.
the Charizard got stronger.
And then they bring it back every once in a while. Oh,
Yeah.
remember Ash had a Charizard? It's like, hey, shut up.
Yeah,
I'm done.
then he loses to a Charizard.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
done with this. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like when they did Origins, like with the Red story, I thought that was really awesome because you finally saw Pokemon like how they were in the actual game, and like how like I think that same studio is the ones doing those little generation shorts
I
where
think
like
they are.
yeah, you saw the Pokemon SWAT team and shit. I'm like, why don't they do a fucking anime about this shit? Because I'm tired of Ash Ketchum. I'm done. Like it's annoying to me. This kid has been 12 years old for the last 10 goddamn years. No, 20 years. 20 years because Pokemon is 20 years old.
Yeah.
For fucking 20 goddamn years. I mean, how long does this shit have to go on? I mean, I'm tired of it. And like I said, Ash, I mean, yeah, like they kind of made him into a better trainer as time went on. He didn't stay a complete loser throughout these 20 years, but compared to Red from the Origins, shit, he get his ass kicked. Pikachu, oh shit, I shouldn't have sent out this Pikachu against that Charizard. Never mind.
Pikachu would win.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would.
No,
the
Charizard's
the
weak to
finals.
electric attacks.
Yeah.
Here, man, look, listen. As
You
someone
fool.
who has played Pokemon extensively, a level 100 Charizard versus a level 100 Pikachu.
Would lose because of Light Ball.
Shit, no,
Charizard isn't a very good Pokemon.
look, if you touch your Charizard dig like I did, no, it wouldn't.
Well, it's one way to solve this.
You look.
Settle it and smash.
Charizard dig.
If you're like me, you always teach your Charizard dig.
Just teach it Earthquake.
Well, I mean, in Gen 1 you could. No, you couldn't. You could teach your Charmeleon dig. But no, I taught mine dig. So
I don't know if we can learn Earthquake actually.
which is I knew you could teach it dig, which is an evasion move. Plus, it does ground-based damage, and it does.
I know what dig
but it
does.
takes damage from physical. So
Sorry.
I'd be fine.
What I love about Pokemon Generations is that it's also a commercial, because I think it's that these shorts will go on until December.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're
that's
going on
around-
after Sun and Moon come out.
Yeah, they're gonna keep on rolling. I want to see the one that's gonna show Red versus Gary Oak. Or
They're
sorry,
not gonna-
Blue.
Or blue. Yeah.
They're not gonna show that.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Red.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
'Cause-
showing Red versus Blue.
No, they're that like you saw the trailer, right?
Yeah,
Where it showed the Fire Blast going into the Water Blasts.
yeah.
That was Lance.
Really? I
It
thought-
looked like it, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
no.
they-
They had that one, but they also had one where they had Blue. They're gonna have Red versus Blue.
I
'Cause
think
after
that's
he
gonna
beats
be
Lance-
like
After he beats Lance, he's gonna have to fight, because that's like they're recreating famous scenes of the thing. They're gonna have to show that battle, which I hope they do, because we all know that Red is the champion.
Hey,
He's gotta,
I think what they're doing is that they're tying in directly to Pokemon Origins in a sense.
I don't know.
'Cause- But we already
Mm,
battle already.
yeah. Yeah.
So they're
Oh
not
my
gonna
God.
show it again. They're gonna show the preparation of the battle, like the scene before, and then it's just gonna cut off probably.
I would
we
actually like
already
to
know the
see
outcome.
Gold versus Red. That'd be awesome.
That we might see.
That'd be cool.
I mean, if they're gonna like tie it indirectly to Origins, I'm like they're doing sort of like an okay job, because I mean, for me, what kind of distracted me a little bit was, okay, after Red won against Giovanni in the gym battle, he then just started Team Rocket again. Like what? Like what?
Yeah, that kind of didn't make any sense, because
Yeah, like
one of the whole points about Giovanni is that he's like, he realizes shit. Like
I lost to a kid.
Well, not just that. He basically fucked up his own thing, because he's a gym leader, which means at some point he had to have realized, like, had partner Pokemon and done all that stuff. He completely betrays what being a Pokemon trainer is about when he starts using Pokemon as tools and not as, your partners, all that heart shit. Yeah, how dare you? Kind of like when you beat Pokemon, the original Pokemon, and Gary Oak comes in, he's like, "Yeah, you'll never," or not Gary, Professor Oak comes in, he's like, "You'll never be champion again because you use your Pokemon as tools and not as your friends," and all that shit. It's like you're trapping wild animals and making them fight. I don't get like this. How dare you, Professor Oak? How dare you?
It's Pokemon.
It's Pokemon, yeah. But still, yeah, I always thought that would be kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a little bit of a two-faced maneuver. So, anyone else want to bring up anything about Pokemon before we move on to the next topic?
I could talk about Pokemon all day, but we might as well move on.
Yeah, I could. Too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, because if I did, I would never get anything else done. So
Hey, maybe you can make a Pokemon Busters cast.
I could, but
I'd be
but
down.
here's the thing: I'm totally into Pokemon, but some people are in it even more than I am. So it gets kind of like
me.
yeah, like god damn, like I had a friend in high school that was like he was into movesets and stats and natures. I was like, dude, you taking this shit way too fucking far.
The natures, the IVs.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, he was like way too fucking into it. So I was like, I had to back up and go do something else. I was like, dude, you just too far. Taking
What's funny is that the games have made that Sun and Moon are going to make it so much easier now. Like, it's feasible to get IVs like reasonably fast, like perfect IVs.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to breed endlessly anymore.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
The show must go on.
yeah. So I guess it's time to move on to the main topic, which is, of course, a good friend of mine. A good friend of mine always like to say, cherish the one you're with. So the main topic is going to be something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm calling it underrated versus overrated. So we're going to talk about games that some of which are overrated, some of which are underrated. That each of us is going to pick an overrated game that a lot of people love, but you're like, it's not that good. And then underrated, we're going to pick a game that's kind of underrated, but it's actually really fucking good. So, who wants to go first? We'll do overrated first. So, who wants to go first?
Well, we touched upon this earlier, but like, there's a developer who could probably be considered overrated, and that would be Kojima. I mean, people would have my head on a pike for this, but what's really so special about him?
He makes
I
overly
really don't.
complicated games that look, that have really weird fucking stories that no one cares about.
And overpricey. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think Metal Gear is overrated. It must be painful for these people seeing how, to them, this such godlike franchise, and then they have Metal Gear Survive, a little Left 4 Dead clone. Yikes.
Well, so you're saying that Metal Gear as a franchise is overrated, or because when I was saying a game was overrated, not particular.
One game?
Yeah, one game that you're like, this game is not as good as people will say it is.
Yeah, Metal Gear then.
You're going with Metal Gear? Okay, all right.
Melee. Smash Brothers Melee.
Okay, I could see where someone would think that Smash Brothers Melee is overrated. I could totally see it.
What is yours, Red?
Well, I was gonna go last, but
Yeah,
Dragon's here.
I played this game for maybe, I guess, a couple hours or so. It's a recent game, and it's, I think, Overwatch. And I mean, it's not a buggy game. It's not a glitchy game. It's not a terrible game. It's not a bad game. It has, like, it sort of looks like it has something special in it, but it's just not, like, it just doesn't have enough content, I guess. Or I guess the gameplay is kind of too basic to where, I kind of just get bored. Like,
I can see that.
Yeah, after like one day or something. So,
I have the opposite problem with Overwatch. I think Overwatch would be a really good, like if they did like an animated cartoon about Overwatch, it'd probably be fucking awesome.
They have several.
No, I mean like a dedicated series that's just about the game. I'd be cool with that, but I don't give a shit. Or if it was a single player game and they focused on maybe 4 characters, and went through those characters' storylines, it'd be awesome. But I don't give a shit about the game as a MOBA or as a multiplayer game.
I have played Overwatch. I think it's really fun. I can see your hangups about it. I think it would be way better if it did have this like single player mode where either it has this big story mode where you're constantly switching characters and perspectives, and it would kind of highlight how you play the different characters, or if each character had like their own dedicated story mode where you have to do each things that accentuate the character's things.
Yeah, that's one of the
it
things.
just give better content.
Yeah, that's one of the things that kind of was like, I was like, that would really make it worth my time, because I think that they made some really interesting characters, but my God, I don't want to play the fucking multiplayer. I'm like, I don't care about the multiplayer. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather play a single player game with these characters. Like, I think Winston is a really cool design. I think a lot of the other characters are really cool. If I could play a single player game where I could play as these characters and go through a storyline and shit like that. But I mean, you know, it's been so long since Blizzard has made games like that. I don't think they have the chops to do it anymore.
Wow. So you think, one question, what move or what option or decision for a future Splatoon game would make it MOBA?
Make it MOBA?
I mean, I think maybe it's me. I don't see it as a MOBA, but I think if they add the thing they added on Overwatch where you can change weapons mid-battle, it would be a MOBA, but the matches are too short anyway.
Yeah, that wouldn't make it like a MOBA. But there's no.
I would give it more. For me, if they took away the single player for Splatoon and made it strictly just multiplayer, and there was no like.
It would be the same situation as Overwatch.
Yeah, it would basically be Overwatch. Like the thing that because Splatoon does have a single player, it's not great, but at least it's not great until you get to the final boss. The final boss of Splatoon is so fucking good that it's like I can forgive these glorified tutorial levels that you gave me for the single player, because really, if you play the single player, it trains you in how to play the multiplayer. It's actually it's a relatively good single player. And I have to be honest, my God, the fucking the final boss, DJ Octavio, is fun as hell. It's like, damn, this is ridiculous, dude. This is off the chain, man. DJ Octavio. That's his name. I didn't make that up.
But yeah, I was just randomly thinking and spew that out there. But I'm not saying it will happen or what I want it to happen.
No. Personally speaking, we all know they're probably going to make a Splatoon sequel. I just wish I wish the single player was more in depth.
Yeah.
Like this, because for me right now, like they'd only have to add a few minor things to the single player, to the multiplayer to make it AAA, to make it a top-notch experience. As it is, it's pretty damn fun and engrossing within and of itself. Like if they added voice chat in the lobbies, and the ability to swap out weapons. Now, I mean, I'm not saying you could swap out like a specific thing between matches, but like maybe if you had like weapon sets you could bring in, like a loadout, and you could switch loadouts between matches. So like one match you use the Gatling arrow spray, or maybe another one you use the one of the sniper rifles, or another match.
Changing weapons is kind of a pain.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like they had different loadouts and shit. I understand why they didn't do it, because the way they load it, it's like it's loading the data for how you're built onto the server, and that's what you're using. And it would be weird it'd be more of a strain on their servers to switch out that data like that. So I can understand why they didn't do it. But if they were to tweak that a bit, that'd make the multiplayer a little bit better. Maybe add environmental destruction where you can destroy parts of the environment. That'd be cool.
Well, there's such an emphasis on the environment and mobility already. I don't know if that needs to be complicated.
That could be. I was just spitballing. I'm not saying this will happen. This is just my thoughts. I don't know, man.
Whatever Splatoon 2 is going to be, I'm excited.
Maybe make playable octolings. That'd be cool.
Yes.
That'd be good. More weapon types, obviously.
I was thinking, give us the ability to craft our own weapons. Like you find blueprints and you take them to Sheldon, and then like you could like find other bits and pieces and make your own custom weapons, so that you could like tailor a weapon to what your gameplay type is. So like if you really like using, of course you have to spend money or super shells to get certain little special tweaks about the weapon, but I think that'd be cool.
I think it'd be better if they reduced the randomness a little bit. I don't like the randomness incorporated into the clothing. Like how you have to get stats. Like you basically have to do a dice roll every time you want the good stats.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like maybe have that, and maybe have like custom. Like you could buy or find shit, and then like maybe you'd spend a little bit more money and like buy certain tiers of power ups. Like you wouldn't know, but you get a tier. Like okay, a level 4 tier is like $100,000 but you're guaranteed to get something that's like a high quality, like a ultra high quality thing, something like that. Maybe there's a 5th tier, but you get those from doing like tournaments or some shit. Like if you do well in a tournament, you get a voucher to get really, really, really good shit.
Or maybe they could have an achievement system where if you get some sort of achievement, you could get like a cosmetic or a weapon reward or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that.
Ooh, something that if the future console has like a screen in your controller, you can customize differently your clothing, just drawing something like they did in Mario Kart DS.
Mm-hmm.
You can add your own logo. That'd be interesting.
Everyone's just gonna draw dicks though.
Yeah, they are.
Be honest here.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna draw dicks, and boobies, and maybe signs for Vaj.
Dang it, these people.
Yeah.
Especially since it's an online multiplayer shooter. I mean, that kind of thing is inevitable.
Yeah, this is why we can't have nice things. People always draw weird shit in the picture. So yeah, I don't know. Brownie, did you go?
Yeah, it said melee.
Okay, melee.
Oh yeah.
Dragon, did you go?
Yeah, I said Overwatch. So
Overwatch. Wonder, did you go?
I think I started the thing about Metal Gear Solid. So
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So I guess I'm the last one. I know someone's gonna shoot me in the face for saying this, but I don't care. Halo.
Yeah, I can see
yeah,
that.
I would have kind of agreed after like playing Halo 4 campaign, I think.
Yeah, I think Halo is one of the most overrated game franchises in the industry. I think even its so quote unquote accomplishments aren't really that impressive to me. Now, the reason I say this is because I really started getting into gaming and started realizing gaming politics when I was during the 5th gen, when I was like 9, 10, 11. And like everyone's like, man, you got to get the original Xbox for Halo. And I was like, I mean, that was during the 6th gen, but I was like, they're like, you got to play Halo. It's a first person shooter with PC things, on a console. I was like, that's cool, but I already had this the generation before with GoldenEye. So, and Perfect Dark. So, like, I'm not really impressed with you doing it with it being done on another console. It's not impressive to me.
funny enough, those two are rare games.
Yeah, funnily enough, then they were bought by Microsoft, and the fun times began because they've been putting out nothing but quality material since then. He said, ironically. He said, ironically. Um, yeah. So, and I know some people might get mad at me, but I don't care. I think Halo's overrated. I don't think the story is as good as people think it is. I'm saying this is someone who did play Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, and most recently Halo 5. I played the campaign modes, and I was like, to tell you the truth, they should have wrapped that shit up at Halo 3, and Halo 4 should have been a completely different protagonist. But whatever. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go to underrated games. So now we're going to talk about games that like you felt people shat on or were underappreciated that were actually you played it. You're like, this is pretty damn good. Who wants to go first?
Damn, this is a tough one. I'm split between, even though I haven't finished Tokyo Mirage Sessions, that one, my game of the year from last year, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, and possibly my game of the generation. That if you see what I have in my face on my photo, it's a Wonder Mask. Wonderful 101 seems to be like
my man.
So far because
that's my namesake.
Oh, really? Nice.
Wonder Dean.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
a wonderful one.
Cool.
That was a really good game. I would love to see a sequel instead of it being like Night Morphs, like maybe like a straight up beat 'em up. That'd be fucking awesome. Because that's what it was. It was essentially a beat 'em up.
Well, it's a platinum stylish action game.
Yeah,
it's like a. I heard someone describe that style of game once. It's like a multiplayer fighting game, but as a single player game.
That could be the case. But it's like it's kind of like Platinum's idea of a beat 'em up. But I love shit like that. I liked how it was just so did not give a shit. Like I love that shit, man.
Yeah, Wonderful 101 was completely decimated by the how do I put like the whole
fake
gaming by the whole gaming critic crowd at the time, because a game like that is just too complex for game critics to be fairly reviewed. It really is.
Well, it's a Platinum game, so it's not going to be. The thing about Platinum games is that they are not the easiest games to just pick up. Like,
absolutely not.
There's a lot of like the easiest to pick up Platinum game is Okami, and even Okami has a lot of hidden depth to it, where it's like, shit, wasn't expecting that. So
yeah, out of all the three I mentioned, I'd say Wonderful 101 is the most underrated to me. It would be because it's corny, its gameplay is awesome, the story is actually good, and as a previous Power Ranger fan, that gave me so much Power Ranger vibe to it. The only thing I think
it's Super Sentai.
Yeah.
That's what it's riffing off. It's ripping off what Power Rangers was a ripoff of.
Yeah, so that is my choice.
Fair enough.
I guess I'll go next. So funny enough, I'm actually doing a series reviewing like underrated games. Funny enough, it is called Underrated Games, and I did one for Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I did one for I might get sort of hate, maybe a lot. Hatsune Miku Project Diva F2nd, and the one I'm gonna actually say that like that is pretty actually is probably the best term for underrated, and I'm also probably gonna get maybe a lot of hate, is Time and Eternity for PS3. The reason why is, well, it got pretty bad reviews, like 3s and 2s, and oh man, but I mean, to be honest, I really did enjoy the game, and I did all the trophies. I played multiple playthroughs. I'm still like I'm even playing it right now, like in my third playthrough. I'm still enjoying the game, and it really isn't. I mean, it might have maybe a frame rate issue, though it's sort of minor. It only happens like I don't know how many, like handful of times, and it's not really that big of a deal. And it's also a pretty unique game, at least from me just looking at the games that I've seen, where you're just playing like you're playing an anime, sort of. And yeah, really great voice acting, pretty good UI, good interface, and yeah, so.
Is this an RPG or what?
It's a JRPG. Oh yeah, some people said like this is pretty much the worst JRPG, and I could say it's not the deepest, but it is.
What game is this again?
Yeah.
What game is this again?
Time and Eternity for PS3.
Is this the one where you play a Time and Eternity? Is this the one where it's like you play like a composer who's dying or some shit?
It's so a wedding attacked during that day, and you're, I guess technically speaking, you're the guy that got stabbed.
Yeah.
During the wedding, yeah.
He's like
so you're traveling back in time, like
but
you're traveling back in time. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever play it, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So everyone went over their underrated game except for me.
I didn't.
Okay, Wonder, what's your underrated game?
It's kind of a twofer.
Okay.
Probably, well, because one of them is Sustained Brownies, the Wonderful 101. Because that game still to this day doesn't get enough credit. It kind of had everything going against it, and it couldn't really rise above that, unfortunately. But my second choice is a series, and it's the perpetually underrated Kirby series. I mean, it's
Is Kirby really underrated though?
not that. I was a bit apprehensive about saying it because not these days, not with Planet Robobot coming out and it getting more and more attention. But for a while, it was like not really as paid attention to as other Nintendo franchises, despite being just as good.
I mean, I think maybe Kirby kind of was underrated when it was like when it first came out. It was maybe a little overrated, but I don't think it's overrated now.
Underrated.
I mean, yeah, underrated now. Maybe it was underrated, like maybe during the NES, Game Boy generation. But I think as time has gone on, Superstar and then Kirby 64 and Kirby's Adventure 3, which I never played the US version of that game. I got the Japanese version, so I always called it Hoshi no Kirby 3.
Okay, but I think I know what he means.
That game released in 1997.
Yeah,
I think I know what Wonder means. I mean, Kirby, their games, most of its games is great, but when people talk about Nintendo, it's either Mario, Zelda, Metroid, or Kirby.
well,
Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and Kirby. Yeah.
Well, but Kirby's always kind of almost left out. It's like, okay, they think Mario, Zelda,
Pokemon.
Donkey Kong, Star Fox, Metroid, like Kirby is relegated almost to second or third tier with Captain Falcon now.
But again, this is becoming less and less of the case over time.
Oh yeah, because Kirby games are cheap to make, and they sell well enough that they turn a nice tidy profit.
I think Kirby is like the 5th highest selling franchise for Nintendo after Donkey Kong.
It could be.
Like Pokemon, Zelda, Donkey Kong, then Kirby, or something like that.
I think it's like Pokemon. No, I think it goes Pokemon, Tetris from way back in the day, and
Well,
then
highest selling franchise.
yeah,
Like
Mario.
collective units.
Yeah, and then Mario, and then like Donkey Kong, and then because I know the top 10. I know he's in the top 10, so he's one of their more profitable and high selling franchises. The thing about Kirby games is that they're great to get into, but as time goes, like as you play a Kirby game, there's a level of mastery to them where it's like if you're a hardcore gamer, there's some challenge there too. So,
Yeah. Watch
except for
a
Squeak Squad. Squeak Squad was a little too easy all around. I'm sorry.
probably. Yeah, watch a Kirby speedrun and you realize just how strict some of the timings can be.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, listen. You're talking to a dude who 100%ed Great Cave Offensive on Superstar and Ultra Star. Great Cave Offensive to 100%. That is like some of those treasure chests are like shit. Like you have to know timing and what switch to press and what switch not to press. It gets kind of a bitch.
And it's only gotten more complicated.
Yeah, it
the
does.
way powers are used.
Yeah, it gets. You know, I still say one of my favorite powers in Kirby though is still the fighter one because that uppercut is cheap as fuck.
No, if you want to just blow through any arena or the true arena, even just get Stone.
Stone, I like Stone.
Be invincible longer than you are. Be invulnerable longer than you are vulnerable.
Yeah, I like Kirby Superstar. I mean, I like Stone ability. Like my favorite 4 abilities in Kirby is Stone, Hammer, Plasma, and Fighter. Like those are like my favorites.
Plasma was pretty broken in Superstar, but it's gotten a lot weaker over the years.
Yeah, they nerfed it in Return to Dreamland. I was like, come on, man! Like that was like my favorite. Just like it because it was cheap as fuck. Like Kirby went all Super Saiyan and he got a little energy beam on him and everything, and had Kamehameha waves. It was cheap as fuck, but fun.
It got worse in Triple Deluxe too.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
I was kind of yeah. They nerfed it.
Yeah, because before Plasma, you could like charge it up while you were guarding. You can't do that in Triple Deluxe anymore.
Yeah. And when you had your energy shield on, like you could beat weak enemies with it, and the energy shield would block weak projectiles.
Nah, it still does that.
Like you could fight Dyna Blade and shoot her air puffs at you when you get like, yeah, bitch, I'm Super Saiyan, and then hit her in the face with the Kamehameha wave. It does massive damage.
I like the ninja ability, the water, and the beam ability. Those are my favorites.
The ability is cool, but I always found it to be a little weak, except with the quad slash, which is pretty cool. But like its base attack, I kind of stayed away from it a little bit. Got all quiet all of a sudden. Okay, so I guess it's my turn to talk about what's the overrated game for me. The underrated game for me. And the underrated game for me is a game that people said sucked at the time, but it's one of my favorites on the N64. Mega Man Legends.
I keep forgetting that's on the N64.
Yeah. It was also on the PlayStation 1, but the PS1 version sucks. Graphically, it sucks. And trying to play it with a DualShock controller, it just feels weird. I had the game on the N64, and it's actually a fun game. It's not perfect. It has its own problems, but I enjoy it. So.
Interesting. And the sequel never came to N64.
No. It came to the PS1, where no one fucking bought it. So.
Damn it. At the time when I saw Mega Man 64, I thought, they made 64 Mega Man games?
Yeah, it was Mega Man Legend 64, and actually it was like I think had Capcom not been pussies, they would have continued making those games because they were actually pretty fun, you know. So we have some questions here, a few questions. So Anderson Archilla's here. He's like, so was Metal Gear, Last of Us, Final Fantasy, or the like mentioned? Yeah, we mentioned Metal Gear. Last of Us is overrated. You're right.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, Final. I would say modern Final Fantasy is overrated. I think old school Final Fantasy, especially during the
Yeah.
16-bit generation, was what it was hyped up to be. I mean, like Final Fantasy VI is one of the best RPGs ever made. It's really good. Not saying it's perfect. I'm saying it's really good. I think it deserves the accolades it gets because it is really good. Can we just say that every third party game this is from Perry Fan 74? Can we just say that every third party game that on the Wii that wasn't shovelware is an underrated game? Yeah, you're right.
Probably.
Because there were some good games on the Wii that weren't shovelware. Like Zack and Wiki's underrated. That's an adventure game made by Capcom that doesn't star Mega Man. Has nothing to do with Mega Man. It's actually pretty fucking good. So yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Let's see. Double A says No More Heroes. No More Heroes was really good. And it is underrated. Even No More Heroes 2 is pretty good. I know a lot of people didn't like playing the Shinobu, but Shinobu was fucking hot. I don't care, man.
I need to get that game. I mean, I'm hearing so many praises of it.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
I think I No More Heroes too. Didn't No More Heroes actually sell pretty well though?
In the Wii.
The first one did.
Wow.
The Wii version didn't sell. No More Heroes 2 didn't sell as well as the first one. So Ubisoft ported it over to the PlayStation 3 where it bombed spectacular. They ported both games.
Yeah.
They called it No More Heroes Paradise, which had both first and second games, and they bombed spectacularly, which tells you, Ubisoft does not know how to run their fucking business.
Unless it's Just Dance.
Just Dance, God, which is a cheap fucking game. They just pump out like they pump out like an ant pumps out babies. Overrated for me, this double A. Overrated for me would be Half-Life 2, Thomas Was Alone, or Fallout 3 or 4. Yeah, Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are overrated. God of War and World of Warcraft. I can see why people like World of Warcraft. I'm not saying I like it, but I can see why people think it's good. Perry Fan 74 says Assassin's Creed Rogue is underrated.
Really?
Well, here's the thing. Assassin's Creed Rogue
Is that the game that had the skin melted? I mean, the face melted?
No, that was Unity. See, here's the thing. Rogue
Okay.
came out in the same year as Unity. Rogue is not that bad of a game, but because Unity came out so broken, it tainted the entire franchise. So, I think Wii U, Wii Fit U, Art Academy, Wii U, and Affordable Space Adventures are underrated Wii U games. This is from Josh S. How about Little King's Story Wii version for underrated? Yeah. I recently got that game on PC because I never got it on Wii, which is amazing because I always wanted to get it, but I was like, I always waffled on it. Chibi Robo, yeah, Chibi Robo is underrated. Perry Fan 74 has another question, y'all. It's can anyone think of a good underrated licensed game? All I can think of is Hulk Ultimate Destruction. If you guys have more, what are they?
Underrated license.
Yeah.
I would say Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Wait, Web of Shadows? No.
Yeah, Web of Shadows was licensed. Spider-Man 2 for the GameCube. That was licensed.
But I actually wanted to say Shattered Dimensions.
Web of Shadows is pretty good too.
Yeah, Shattered Dimensions had 4 different Spider-Man, and every version of it had different gameplay. I liked it.
Yeah, uh, for me, like, I understand what they were going for with Shattered Dimension, but it just didn't click with me. I didn't like
But
how they were like, like, oh, you gotta go do this over here, and you gotta go do this over here. I don't know.
Does Lego licensed games counts? Like,
Yeah, man. No,
yeah.
those count. I mean,
Those are
Lego City's underrated. Oh
Mhm.
God, Lego City's
Oh, that's-
underrated, and that's a good game. It's actually a fucking good game. Yeah. Um. Oh God, someone asked a dirty question. What Nintendo games are overrated to you?
Mm.
That's a hard one.
It's not exactly overrated. But there is an aspect about the Metroid Prime series I don't like very much.
What,
the fan base.
the back.
No. Not even the backtracking. It's more of a personal thing, really. But I really don't like platforming in first person.
Yeah, the platforming is a little awkward in Metroid Prime, but like it's one of those things that once you get used to it, you just stop thinking about it.
Hold on, I need to get out of the call real quick.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. Once you get used to it, I mean, for me, because when I first started playing Metroid Prime, I'm like, this is really awkward jumping, but because they give you that double jump and they kind of make jumping kind of a liberal thing to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not. You don't have to be precise. They make platforms big enough that it's not awkward. It's not as bad, but I can see where it would be a problem. So.
Oh man, someone's gonna kill me for this. Sprite, I'm sorry, but Super Mario World.
How dare you know? Yeah, I mean, I can understand why you would think it's overrated. I mean, I
love the game, but
it's my favorite Mario game, but it's my favorite 2D Mario game. But I can understand why people would think it's overrated. So
it's just that something about Mario Bros. 2 seems like better about World. Those games are timeless, but something about Bros 3 gets the upper hand over World. I don't know.
For me, I have the opposite thing. I think for me, Super Mario Brothers 3 is a little overrated. There's some technical issues that keep it from being a great game to me. I think for me, Super Mario World has the edge a little bit, but that's just me. We have a question from Yin Yang Yao. Thank you for asking this question. We're getting to it now. Have you heard how Sega admitted they goofed on the last generation?
I glanced over it.
Basically,
and I would say they messed up before the Wii generation.
well, I mean, basically, Sega just admitted to what every other publisher did and developer did last gen. They would put a shitty game that was cheap and didn't have a lot of quality on the Wii, that maybe had a development budget of 500,000, and it would sell like half a million, and they would make like 50 million off of it. Selling it $50 a pop. 50, 40, 30 million off of it, and make their money back, and take that money and put it in AAA games and put it on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And they wanted the Wii U to be the exact same fucking thing. And there's no easy place to just dump shitty games to make a lot of money and then pump that money into other things.
Wait, one question: did they ever make a remake of Bubble Bobble?
Who?
I don't know, but I don't know. I thought that game was charming, and I don't know what happened to it. But did they ever make a HD remake of that?
I don't know.
Man, those 99 levels.
Are we still talking about underrated and overrated games?
Moving on to the next question, but you can talk about it.
Because I just remembered an overrated game.
Go ahead.
I didn't really realize it until after I played it, but I thought about it, and it's a game that doesn't make any sense. And it's BioShock Infinite.
Yeah,
Like,
but I don't
that
think
game's
that's overrated because it didn't sell very well. And most of the people who are fans of it recognize that it has some major issues with the storytelling.
Well, not just the storytelling. Like, it has some really arbitrary limitations. The story, of course, doesn't make any sense once you actually think about it. And in general, it's way more flawed than its reception would imply.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I think BioShock Infinite. The problem with BioShock Infinite for me was that like it was such a missed fucking, and they tried to fix it with the patch. With the DLC, but by then it was too damn late. Because I think I've said this before. Wouldn't BioShock Infinite had been awesome if it had been? Because I mean, it's about alternate dimensions, which is actually a really cool concept. But wouldn't it have been cool if BioShock Infinite, instead of having Booker DeWitt as the main character, had Elizabeth teaming up with an alternate reality version of Andrew Ryan's aborted son, who the would you kindly Jack Ryan from like an alternate reality of that guy. Like so you have an alternate reality Rapture versus an alternate versus Columbia. That would have been an awesome fucking game, but instead we got some bullshit with like the Prophet, and it's just weird, man.
What? Dynamite.
No, I said that BioShock. I said that Wonder Dean said that BioShock Infinite was kind of overrated, and I said, wouldn't it have been cool if instead of that game being about you know um,
Oh, okay. I thought that was a comment, not a question. Yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't know. I haven't played a BioShock game before. Not even System Shock. I need to get those. Yeah.
yeah, I personally think BioShock I think BioShock is actually kind of good. I think it could be better. I don't think it's perfect. I just think it. I think it could be better. I think BioShock Infinite kind of missed a lot of opportunities to be a better game, which is kind of sad because the concept is cool, and they could have linked it together. They could have said, okay, an alternate reality Rapture, an alternate reality versus like, because that would have been cool. You had Big Daddies versus those damn Patriots that they had in BioShock Infinite. That would have been awesome. You know, Andrew Ryan versus Prophet. I forgot the guy's name. That would have been awesome. You know, Mister. You know, a slave obeys, a man chooses. No, a man chooses, a slave obeys. You know, that would have been a really fucking awesome anime. Sorry, manga slash whatever game.
Okay. Any more questions?
Um, No, I think we're done. We've reached the end of the thing. Anyone have any other topics they want to bring up before we wrap things up?
I think if I have like maybe a sort of question kind of to end us off, are a lot of, I guess, um third party games out there like Destiny and like pretty much games that are hyped up to be the next big thing kind of are overrated pretty much? Like maybe Recore to a certain extent. It's kind of, yeah.
I think you're partially right. I think that a lot of games are kind of. I think a lot of games are kind of overrated. You're right. They are a little overrated. I think the reason that these games are overrated is because people look at who's making it and they think they're going to get this or this based on who's making it. Like people looked at Recore and they said, "Oh man, it's from some of the people who worked at Retro who made Metroid Prime, and it's from Keiji Inafune, so it's going to be like Mega Man." And Recore is nothing like Metroid Prime or Mega Man. Like it's its own thing. And as its own thing, it's okay. It's not great. It's not like it's not the second coming of Jesus. I played it on a friend's PC. It's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not like it's not a Mega Man game. It's not a Metroid Prime game. It's its own thing, and as its own thing, it's okay.
Oh, I just remembered. Would Vanquish be in your guys' underrated list?
Never.
No.
Vanquish is okay.
I mean, I don't like shooters in general, but maybe that's because I'm a Platinum fanboy. But
I'm a Platinum fanboy too, but I take that back. I'm a Clover Studios fanboy who has followed the studio when they became Platinum. But even I'm not a fan of Vanquish. I think it's okay. I don't think it's great.
Okay.
I know that's a dirty word. People are like, "Oh, you're Platinum, you're a Clover Studio fan, but you're not a huge fan of Vanquished." It's like, look, motherfucker, I have God Hand, a game that nobody bought. And I've bought Okami like 3 times over. So, but yeah, Dragon Sword, you're correct. There is a kind of there are a lot of games that get hyped up, and people have hyped up, have very high expectations, and like they hype themselves so much that the game can never reach those expectations. So it inevitably fails to do what they think it's going to do, because there's no way a game is going to reach those expectations. Like, I mean, when you hype yourself up so much that with unrealistic expectations, there's no way it's ever going to reach that point, and that's what's been going on.
Okay. Got something, Wonder?
I have many things, but I don't know if they're relevant.
Okay, then. So now that we've talked about that, anyone else have anything they want to pimp out before we has any other topics they want to talk about before we get to the last part where you pimp out something and then we wrap things up?
The pimping out stuff is now or later? Okay, later. I'll wait for the pimping out thing.
Okay, all right. Anyone have anything they want to? Any other topics before we get to the pimping out and then wrapping things up? Nothing. Okay, going once, going twice. All right. We're at the pimp out stage. Anyone have anything they want to pimp out, talk about, mention, hype people up about, and then we'll get our sign offs and get out of here.
Okay, I think I mentioned it to you this Thursday. This anime called ReZero. I was skeptical at first because it was hype surrounding to this anime, and it looked cutesy and stuff.
But it is
Well,
definitely not cutesy.
it goes dark really quick.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
So
Yeah.
you're like Will Ferrell's character in
Yeah,
in
that
Anchorman.
escalated
It's like,
quickly.
this escalated quickly. It's like,
Yeah.
man, I think you killed that guy, Tank. Yeah, I killed him. Yeah, you stabbed that guy with a pitchfork, Tank.
Yeah, the anime is ending this Monday, the season, and seeing as how it's a light novel or based on a light novel,
Mm-hmm.
if we're getting a second season, that won't happen for like 2 years, 3, maybe more.
Well,
So
you can always read the light novel, which there's 2
yeah,
volumes of it. So
yeah. In Japan, there's 8. Damn it. But I'm getting those light novels, and if you like comedy, fantasy, well, there isn't much comedy. Well, some of it. And dark animes, I recommend ReZero. Like, it's really good.
yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah. Anyone else have anything they want to bring up? Want to pimp out?
You got to pimp my ride.
Want to be like what's his name? Yo, pimp your ride, dog. We gotta pimp your ride. I forgot his name. Exhibit. Gonna pimp your ride. Anything, people. Anything. Okay.
I'm kind of busy outside, so if you guys are sort of my subscribers, which I don't know if you guys are, I'm probably just gonna go sort of on a hiatus for a while, maybe. So
Okay. That's.
Yeah.
I'm glad you breaking news. You're going on a hiatus. Wonder Dean, anything you want to pimp out?
Nah,
Okay,
I
then
don't have anything going.
I guess I'm the last one. This is Mr. Red Fox. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, knock on wood, I'll be having a one-on-one cast with Mr. John Lucas. That's right, the John Lucas. So you guys look forward to that shit. I'll have the chat app open because YouTube, the new Google Hangouts, doesn't have a fucking Q&A app anymore. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, use the chat app. I'll do the best I can in the YouTube thing. Keep it kosher. No weird questions, please. Look forward to that. Glad to have the man, the myth, the legend, John Lucas back with us, and it'll be fun. So with that being said, I bid you all a good night. This was actually a very timely cast. We went in under 2 hours, which for us is a fucking record. So with that being said, I bid you guys adieu. And remember, keep gaming, keep playing, and have fun. And don't accept the bullshit.